Hello, this is JC from Real and Simulated Wars. I'm playing Unity of Command 2. I am showing you the Steam page. It is quite a great game. And the reason why I'm playing this because I read something about the Eastern Front that I wanted to explore, but that's going to be actually the subject of another video in the future. Right now, I want to drop this very short video with it is more a note to myself and you know my wish it is that it could be useful for you, and it is about operational art. And well, operational art, I have been reading about operational art like 15 years from 15 years ago, off on and off because of the many, subjects of my my games exploration. And well, one thing that I struggled at the beginning, and for the most part, for the entire half of that tenure, if you will, uh, you know, dealing or not dealing, but more or less struggling to understand operational warfare was what is it, and if there was some sort of not a manual, but historical examples where you could see that, and you know, one of the games that shows operational art, it is Unity of Command 2. Uh, the reason it is, well, in the traditional view held by many still, operational art it is whatever it is done by corps and above, or divisions and above, and entirely, there are maneuvers, there are supplies and whatnot. And then I have been exposed to this book that I read with utmost interest on operations by B.A. Friedman, and it is quite an interesting book because it was like a very, you know, kind of a aha moment for me when I read this, because Mr. Friedman, he's uh, his position is that operational art doesn't exist per se, and by itself it doesn't mean anything. But operational art, it is what the staffs do, like organizing the offensive actions, and it is more than actually thinking about how you're going to chain the tactical actions together to produce an outcome. And that was quite a thing to read. And it's a very good book. And I recommend it. And well, coming back to the subject of this, I just loaded this scenario. This is one of the variants of, I believe this is from the Moscow 41 DLC. And this is the Rzhev scenario. Uh, it is quite tough. I'm playing as the Russians. And well, let me tell you a couple of things first about this game. You know, the fact that it has these uh, figurines, or, very graphic icons in the style of Panzer General and all the successors that have come ever since, makes you feel like it is a type of a casual game, like a beers and pretzel game. Um, I don't agree with that point of view. I could say this is a very well thought game, and it has more depth than actually moving the parts over there. I mean, if you go into this game with a philosophy of, oh, I'm just going to move this and I'm going to envelope here and that, and there, you're going to lose and you're gonna get frustrated pretty fast. At least it is what happened to me. But now that I understand better this concept of operational art and what that is actually mean, it is becoming clearer. And well, you know, I hope that I can show it in this video. So first thing first, each unit, it is a division. You see right here, I have this unit highlighted over there. I hope that you can see my cursor. That's a 243 rifle division. And every unit, my opponent, it is a computer right now. But, we have divisions with actual names. I don't know if the position, this actually is, the historical one. I couldn't care less as far as it resembles what it is. But, it is quite a spectacle to see these orders of battle right here. And, every unit having a name and having their strength and their, you know, attached support units. It is kind of a deeper than you, I mean, deeper than what the game looks like. That's what I mean by that. And well, surprisingly, um, this game has a very good and easy to understand model for supply. You have a rail line right here, and you see how the supplies flow, and then they go by truck, which are simulated or abstracted over there. You don't actually see them, but you can also handle how many trucks you have over there, which is kind of great. And if your units run out of supply, they cannot attack, and they cannot defend almost. And I never lost a unit to lack of supplies because they get quite destroyed if you're the Russian, um, very easily. So you have to be careful over there. So that's one thing. That's one thing that, according to Mr. Friedman, the staff would do. Take care of the supply situation. But there is also another aspect that I wanted to point out, which is you have headquarters. We have here General Zhukov in the Western Front. For those who don't know, a front in World War II Russia was an army group, roughly. And we have also a Kalinin front that is actually, the tenure of it was General Konev by that time, and Konev, or I don't know how to pronounce his actual name, and well, it turns out that, well, take a look at this. So this is just the pre-deployment part where you shuffle units and support and etc. It turns out that you will see it in the first turn. This is a pre-deployment or something like that. You will see that it's very difficult to attack and succeed if you are the Russians. The Russian troops apparently, well, this is 1942. Russia has suffered, like a crushing defeat during Barbarossa, and the Germans stopped cold, pun intended, in front of Moscow. And the quality of the troops was not that good at that time in 1942. I believe that this is, where is this? This is January 1942. So operational art was not very well practiced because, Mr. Stalin decided to kill all his generals, and it was a start from scratch almost for the Russian army. Of course, you have Konev here and Zhukov, who were, kind of spared off from the purges, but all those activities of shuffling and deciding where your main point of effort is going to be, it is in this game. Like, for instance, right here, if we're going to take Zhukov, um, the Western Front headquarters, you will see that, for instance, you can shuffle all the units. You can shuffle the attachments, like, for instance, the 108 rifle division has a, army group attachment of a 122 millimeter artillery, which helps in the attack and defense, of course. And this is the point where you decide where you want your point of main effort to be for the time being. And what you can do is you can take these attachments, call them back to headquarters, and deploy them again into another unit that may be in more need than that. So let me show you how it works. So we have the headquarters unit here. It has 7 points or 7 action points. I don't know how the hell they call it. It doesn't matter. It has 7. And with this, it can transfer units at the cost of 1 action point per transfer. So, for instance, the way it works, it is you would take this unit right here. We're going to send it to headquarters. We have 2 options. One, it is to take 1 infantry. It's called a step, but they are roughly, like, I do believe, battalions. Steps is a very common concept in traditional wargaming. Whenever you don't want to model, you have 1,945 soldiers there. You just put steps to make it simpler and more easy to handle. It doesn't matter too much, but I talked about the support units, like the 122 millimeter artillery. So I'm going to click on it, and it goes back to the headquarters. And then I can put that guy, that 122 millimeters, I can put it right here into this unit, which is the first motorized rifle division. It is a guards unit, so they're supposed to be, a bit above the regular green troops. So I'm going to deploy that indirect fire support to it, and you see how it was deployed to it. Now, the unit itself has this RT support, which is going to be useful for the offensive actions that we're going to take. So that being said, look how the Western Front has lost, the headquarters has lost 1 step point due to that, which is not bad for, transferring different units to it. But let me show you. We're going to take, I don't know what could be useful. this one here, we're going to give, well, these guys already have an attachment, so I cannot add any more. But you see how the trick is. So now the odds are going to be better for an attack, for a defense, for whatever effort you want to be. And this is basically how you win this game. If you go, bumping units against each other without doing these transfers, you're never gonna win. I mean, it's rare the occasion. Mostly in the Russian front, I can assure you. If you are the Russians, you are dead in the water if you do that. And you have seen this before in other games, like Gary Grigsby, War in the East. You have seen it in the old John Tiller games, etc., etc. I mean, you have to concentrate the effort, and well, there you go. Depending on the quality of your headquarters, you can do that, or you can do more, or you can do less, which is, I do believe, one great thing that this game has going on. And let me show you this one here. This is near Rizhev. It's a pretty dicey situation for the troops that have crossed this small, what is a bridge right there. They are almost isolated, so the Germans surely are going to look into strangling that, and getting all possibilities for us to get into Vyazma, and deep into the more into Belarus, like right here is Smolensk, and Orsha is over there. So they're not gonna let us, exploit this, and it's gonna be a tough fight. But yet again, the two main things it is, operational art. Yeah, it's nice to maneuver the units. It's nice to concatenate those battles, but it's also the means that you put to your troops to achieve those objectives. And I do believe that this game really shows that. Why I chose this and no Gary Grigsby, or any of the of the John Tiller, let's call it Wargamets now, now that the company was acquired. Uh, the reason is because this game always surprised me of how complex it is, and how how inoffensive looks like. You look like you're gonna have a beer and this and that, and you actually have to do some thinking to win this. And the other thing it is that the gameplay is so quick. It's so freaking quick. And just to show you, well, we have a mess in terms of supply. We didn't accommodate, we didn't use our trucks, which was the point of the video somehow. So I apologize for that, but just wanted to show you this. If you select this unit, it is very graphical how you get the places where this unit can go. And well, take a look here. If you attack these guys, the odds are against you totally. You're going to lose 5 steps, and the enemy is not likely to lose anything. Well, the reason is a bit shown here. The guys are entrenched, and the Germans are entrenched, and they are in a wooded area. So good luck with that. So that's why you put sappers and you put all types of thing. But also, what you can do it is to use, for instance, if I use this, you can do this type of set piece attack where the description is right there. Basically, what we're trying with this, it is to achieve a tactical battle where we reduce the defenses so somebody else can take care of that. And that helps. That helps. Did I show you how to do it? Yeah, of course. You click here and you click right there, and it's going to cost General Konev 3 points, 3 action points. Let's do it. Oh, that was awful. Didn't work out. The enemy was not suppressed, or, the defenses were not reduced. So these guys are still left with very, very bad odds to do almost anything. So let me see if we can do any other type of attack. We're going to use a pinning attack. And let's see. The odds are horrible again, but we're going to try it again. You see, these guys, they do have one of these circles, one of these steps, call it suppress it. And it's not that they're, hiding their heads. It is that at least one of the steps, I would like to call them battalions sometimes, I don't know, just me, they are combat ineffective, so they cannot participate into the battle. So do we, because we got that red circle over there, which is unfortunately doomed. And we cannot attack because, of course, we have moved against that. So the way to take care of that, it is just to move your people out and go fetching for better opportunities. So, in conclusion, as I was saying, great show up of the operational art. Now that I believe I understand it a bit better, this game shows it very, very good. It is very involved in terms of what you need to do. Has to do not only with the maneuvering of your, oh my God, sorry the repetition, but it's not only maneuvering the divisions that you have, but it's also providing support for their activities. And in this scenario, we don't have any air assets to bombard and soften enemy prepared positions. And we have kind of headquarters that do suck in their range. You see, Konev has all these range reflected in the dashed line, and oh my God, I'm clicking anywhere. So some units are out of his control. Units that are out of their radius or their command radius cannot do anything else. So, which is, well, that's the nature of the game, and that's the nature of command. But a great reflection of what I'm reading about operational art in the Russian front, in the Eastern Front, mostly for the Russians themselves. Now, the Germans are also represented there, but you will see that instead of merging everything into army groups or fronts, they do have armies, which facilitates a lot the distribution of different resources, etc., etc. They're, they have more flexibility in that sense, which I believe is a fair representation of what war was back there. And well, I will see you back when I put this video together about what I read about operational art, which I believe it is very interesting. Other than that, I really thank you for your kind attention.